What happens in our mind and in our hearts happens as a result of our thoughts, our attitudes, our beliefs, our feelings, and our habit patterns. And we have the power to change our thoughts, our attitudes, our feelings, and our habit patterns. Your mind and your heart are your domain. Today, we're exploring through our metaphysical window a deeper understanding of prayer and demonstration. A call to prayer is heard in many languages across all religions. Some say their prayers, some sing their prayers, some it's a memorized, rote rendering of it, some it's a free-flowing, let the Spirit move you kind of prayer. Some come to prayer out of desperation, and most pray to a God out there somewhere. And some have come to understand that God is not out there. God is present and active within us. God is everywhere present. So God, yes, is out there, but the God that we can engage with is within. God is present, God is active, and God is expressing itself as us. Eric Butterworth, the author of Practical Metaphysics, states that prayer is not conditioning God with our needs, begging for favors to drop somewhere out of the heavens into our lives. Rather, prayer is conditioning our lives with the activity of God. Can you hear the difference? It is about the way we condition ourselves to be in the activity, in the awareness, in the openness, in the possibilities of God. Causing a change in our own conditioned thinking, in our own consciousness, our own awareness, so that we can acknowledge with greater certainty what already is. I want you to hear that. We're not creating something, we are revealing something that already is. Jesus said it this way. He said that the Father knows what things you need even before you ask. It's not about asking in the right way, using the right words. I try and share this with our care team who prays, and it's a little intimidating at first to have to get up and to speak out loud a prayer, but it's not the words. It's the vibration, it's the energy, it is what we infuse into those words. Because God doesn't speak in words. God speaks in the vibration of what we are sending out into our world. So where does God come in to this process of prayer? Well, the answer is he doesn't come in because he never went out. Prayer is about expanding our awareness of the allness, that oneness that we are already immersed in. Jesus also instructed people around this practice of prayer. He said, ask believing and you will receive. So how does that fit into this understanding of prayer? Well, if we look at the word ask in its Latin and Greek roots, it means to claim or to demand. So when we're asking, we are not hoping that if we say it just right or with the right amount of contrition or the right amount of good deeds, that somehow it will be favored. Prayer is about claiming or demanding, again, what is already present. It's about our awareness becoming in tune with it. It is about our wholeness and our abundance that's already present, even if we can't necessarily see it yet. This is why in Unity we always teach that prayer should be affirmative, not a supplication. It's not about saying, I'm so awful, God, but at the same time, could you please help me out? It is about using positive statements of truth to lift our awareness into that divine flow of life. And again, it's not about the words that we use. It is about the beingness that we allow ourselves to expand in that time of prayer. Ralph Waldo Emerson says that prayer is the contemplation of the facts of life from the highest perspective possible. So prayer is really about raising our own ability to see beyond what we can see at this point. If I were able to levitate up to the top of the ceiling, I could certainly see a lot more of what's going on in this particular space. And the further up I go, the broader my perspective comes. I can see in a much greater awareness of all that's going on in life. In fact, it's suggested that you can pray without any words at all, simply by entering that inner chamber and being willing to listen, to seek understanding about the challenge first. We call that here in Unity meditation. We oftentimes link those two things together, prayer and meditation. Well, they're both the same process, just one is more us claiming it and using that awareness of our power in it, and the other is simply being still and tapping into the wisdom that perhaps is beyond our awareness at this point. When we go to that place where we listen, we are trying to understand the gift that is here in whatever we're wanting to pray about. The author reminds us that all difficulties, whether they're relationship, financial, physical, even spiritual challenges that show up in our life, is the divine life trying to communicate something to us. And if all we do is throw affirmative prayers at it, then we miss the rich growth and revealing opportunity that's available in the silence. We may be able to get ourselves to a different state of being around it. We may be able to find a little more peace or a little less stress in our life, but what we really want to do is discover what that is here to teach us, to help us expand our own awareness, to heal perhaps old beliefs that we might still be holding on to. This comes from the Unity Prayer Chapel. It's up on the wall there, the Peace Chapel, that I always found a really rich connection with. And so you can let that image be in your mind, and we're going to move into a time of meditation, a short meditation, so that we can begin this practice of listening. So as you begin to just let go of anything you might be holding on to, and physically or in mind and heart, for just these few moments, allow yourself just to be fully present here and now, for that is where we always find God, in the present moment. You might want to close your eyes or just focus on some point in the room so that you aren't necessarily using these outer senses to experience this moment, but we begin to tune into those inner ways in which we can know and experience that which we call God. Take a breath or two just to, again, bring your awareness to your body, to the way that it's breathing you. If there's some tension, just breathe into that area and speak the words to relax. And I invite you to bring to mind a current challenge you might be experiencing in your life. And just notice the thoughts as they swirl around in your head, imagining almost that they're confined in this fishbowl that's encasing your head, as the thoughts just aimlessly swim around this place that we call our mind. Now imagine with me that there is a door at the bottom of the opening of the fishbowl that springs open to where all those thoughts are free to swim, to engage with all of our body. Imagine those thoughts swimming all the way down to your feet. And they become roots growing out of the soles of your feet, going deep down into Mother Earth. Roots that anchor us where we are in this moment, and that also support us as we draw up the nourishment, the creativity of Mother Earth, as we begin to feel a sense of oneness with this planet that allows us to have this experience of life. And as you draw up that nourishment, draw the thoughts with you until they gently become resting in your pelvic region, in the lower part of your stomach, in that place where we can tap into our intuition, that place where we can know those gut feelings, the spiritual womb of our being, and just let them rest for a few moments in this sacred spiritual part of you as we sit and simply listen in the silence. Now imagine those thoughts are rising up from your pelvic floor, moving into your heart space, infusing them with divine love, with creative ideas, with the awareness of our power to move through whatever challenge we might be facing. Allow that heart to speak with you. And as you draw that up into your mind once again, to articulate in your thoughts what you are hearing. And to know that even if in this short moment the answers aren't clear, as you listen, as you affirm God's presence of love and of wholeness, of peace and of joy throughout your entire being, there will be a demonstration, there will be guidance. There will be a new way of seeing and understanding and engaging. and we give thanks. To know that we never have to figure this out alone. That we walk with a soul. This is part of our soul's journey. And that soul is infinitely connected and one with the divine realm. So we end this time in that feeling of gratitude and of letting that gratitude flow out of our bodies, flow into the room, flow into the world. We send out this burst of love. And celebrate the ways, those that we might know about and the many unknown ways that this makes a positive difference in our world. And as you begin to bring your attention back to this time and to this space, aware of your body once again, supported where you're sitting, and aware of the breath, whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So this demonstration of truth is not magic. It's not even miraculous. It's not creating something out of nothing. Demonstration is about releasing our imprisoned splendor. It is simply about getting ourselves and all of those human myths, messages, and beliefs that we've taken on and allowing us to flow as we truly are. What we experience will depend on where we are in our thoughts and our feelings and our own self-awareness. And here's what I want you, if nothing else, to take away as part of this. God can only do for you what it can do through you. Hear that again. God can only do for you. It's what it can do through you. That calls us to both pray, to meditate, and then to move our feet. To take the guidance from this inner listening and put it into motion. Whether that's healing a relationship, taking the steps to heal within, forgiving ourselves, having greater compassion for ourselves, and extending it out to the other person. And we do it through the awareness that we don't need to make it happen. What we are here to do is to allow it, to let it happen through us. Not to make truth work, because it always works. Rather, to let the truth do its perfect work through us, through you. As Paul put it, Christ in you, your hope of glory. And as this becomes a regular practice in our lives, listening to and affirming who we are from this highest perspective, at least as high as we can see in this moment, it will not only reshape our lives, it has the power to change the world. One expanded vision, one expanded dream at a time. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our financial good with this community. We are grateful for all the gifts as they flow in. In a moment, the ushers are going to invite you to come up row by row and share your gift in the large basket. And then we also want to experience that being in the flow of giving and receiving. So there's an affirmation we invite you to take to bless you this week. And even if it's not your Sunday to share, we certainly ask you to just come and be in the flow. You can put your hand over the basket. We've got little cards. If you give electronically, you can put in there to demonstrate that. And we're just grateful for the many ways that this good flows in and through and out our community in ways known and unknown, and we bless them all. So let us take what we offer today into our hands and into our hearts and join and speak our blessing to it. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother God. And so as we go into this week, having full dominion over our thoughts, our feelings, and how we express into our world, we go knowing our prayer for protection. We're going to do it as a call and response. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Together, wherever we are, God is, and all is well.